What's going on, everybody? I am filming a video for my online compete program, and I figured I'd post it to YouTube. Um, my online compete program is a program for people who want to improve at CrossFit and peak for the quarterfinals. So the program is designed to teach and show people how you can have a structured CrossFit program and kind of show some of the training and the protocols that I use and kind of how I approach coaching. So, and then the goal again is to peak at quarterfinals. This year we have had two off-season cycles. So the off-season, whenever kind of the open or quarterfinals finished, until December-ish, is kind of what I call the off-season. The first two blocks of that training were, more of what I would call an accumulation or a base phase of training. And the third one is what I would classify as a transition phase. So in the off season, we build our skills. We have a little bit less intensity. We improve strength. We improve capacity. And for the people who are trying to peak for quarterfinals and who are kind of in this group of like maybe in that 200th to 1000th range of quarterfinals, strength is a big priority. So we need to focus on strength. And then in the transition phase, we are moving into, blending that training of what, that in-season and preseason style training would look like with the off-season. So we don't want to just jump right into just max intensity, pushing as hard as we can. We've built up some strength. We've improved our skills. Now we need to shift into the intensity, giving your mind, your body time to acclimate to this. And so we can just slowly improve on those skills and strengths with more intensity without digging too deep of a hole. All right. Excuse me. So overall, we're shifting, our intention away from the accumulation, away from our base, away from just doing skills with no or very little fatigue, into challenging the skills a little bit more and introducing more technical fatigue. Okay. So again, this is that third off-season build, and again, we call it the transition phase. So right now we're starting with a 4-week split, and there we go. So we're starting with a 4-week split here. We'll have another split for 4 weeks. We'll have a lighter week to make sure we're feeling good. We'll have our third split will be 3 weeks long, and then we'll have a 1-week deload. Okay, so each split will get a little more intense, and we'll have more training volume, more capacity. It'll just be more intense overall, so we can get used to that style of training. So come January, as we prepare for the open, to get as best of scores as possible and improve and keep training towards quarterfinals. It's not, again, just like some huge ramp up really fast. We're going to slowly ramp up into the intensity. Okay, so looking into this, we're going to go over the week. So in the compete cycle or in the compete program, every time we have a new split, new training cycle, I just go over this with everyone so that they can have a better idea of what the intentions are, what the training days are going to look like, what they're going to look like week to week, so that they can best adjust so that they're getting the correct stimulus. So there's an optional AM session. I'll go over those as well. The optional AM sessions are Monday and Friday. You can do them whenever you can fit them in, but that's where they are, and that's where they're designed in for the program. But starting off with day 1 on Mondays, we have a 12-minute EMOM. We're doing 1 to 5 unbroken ring muscle ups, step ups, and then bike erg at a moderately tough effort. So we've been doing a lot of ring muscle up skill work, ring muscle up development. Now we're going to introduce it with a few other things, creating more intensity and more fatigue, and that'll just get tougher week to week. And as we go into the next split and the next split, those will get tougher as well. Okay. We're working on some, we're still working again on a lot of strength. Like I said, that's a big limiter for people that are trying to peak for the quarterfinals that this program is aimed for. So we're doing some snatch percentage work, some strength work every 20 seconds for three reps. You're going to do 1 squat snatch, rest 3 minutes, repeat it 4 times. We're going to start at 60%, and you just build 0 to 10 pounds per set if that last set felt good. Okay, so still strength, still quality focused, and making sure the reps look really good. And then we have the front squat. We're going to build to a tough set of 4, and then we're going to do 8 to 10 reps. So we're kind of shifting away from all of our absolute strength work. We're going to introduce more strength endurance, and how we're doing that and how we're going to maintain our strength that we've been building, is building to a tough set of 4. So we're still getting some tough contractions, and then we're going to do some drop sets to slowly build more strength endurance. Okay. So the tough set of 4 will allow us to, again, maintain strength and even build strength and keep pushing top ends of our percentage work, while still giving us a good reference for what we're going to do on that day for our strength endurance work. And then we're going to have a task-based EMOM. So it's still going to look a little bit like training, but still have this, kind of like score task-based, task-based for time feel to it. So on minute 1, you're going to do 10 or 8 cal on the assault bike or the echo bike. And then on the second minute, you're going to do max toes to bar. It doesn't need to be an unbroken set, but during the minute, you're just accumulating as many as you can until you finish 75 total toes to bar. Okay. So back and forth until you finish 75 total. So maybe you're not having you're not feeling great. You're not having as great of a day. You're just going to say like, hey, I'm going to do like 10 to 15 each round. I'm going to do one big set. I'm going to stop. Maybe you do feel good. You're still getting the total volume, and you can push it a little more. So either way, you're still getting a great session out of it. All right. The AM session, we are doing some assault bike or echo bike desaturation sets. Meaning we're going to increase effort as we go. So 1 minute at 60%, you're going to increase the next minute, and by the 4th minute, you'll be at 90% effort. We've just been doing a lot of assault bike protocols. We just did an assault bike, 10-minute assault bike or echo bike test. So you would want to be close to that RPMs by the end of it. It's okay if you're a little bit less or a little bit more. Again, this is based off feel. 4 to 5 sets, and then we're just going to kind of extend this out longer each week. Save. All right. Next, another big thing we're going to be working on is rate. Basically, how much work can you perform in, let's just say, a 10-minute workout. The rate is how many reps per minute you're doing. We're trying to improve our rate and lower our total transition and rest time. So we're doing a 15-minute and 10-minute and a 5-minute AMRAP. The goal is to reduce the transitions as little as possible. So that's why this is at like 75% effort. You don't want to do a 200-meter run really quickly and then walk over and take 20 seconds to get to the rower. Okay. We want to do the run, go straight to the rower, go straight to the kettlebell swing, go straight to the push-up, and then go right back. Okay. Reducing that rest time as much as possible. And that's why the 15-minute is 75%. So you're still accumulating volume. It's not easy, but it's, just a little bit challenging. And then resting 5 minutes. Now we're having a shorter time frame where you can produce more power, and it's going to get a little bit tougher, and you're going to be able to go a little bit faster, hence the 85%. And then this is actually supposed to be 95%. 5-minute AMRAP at 95%. So again, 50 cal row, you're going to get off the rower, go straight to the shuttle runs, and then go straight to the burpees. Okay. So the goal is to reduce the amount of time that you're sitting and improve the amount of time that you're working. So you might need to slow down a movement a little bit to maximize the score. And that's what these AMRAPs are doing, is hopefully teaching you a better way to pace and just teaching you your kind of limitations around certain movements. And then following, we just have some core and movement work. And then obviously some stretching. All right. So this is going to be some incremental effort sets to improve pacing, and again, to start blending in some more intensity. So 5 sets at increasing effort. Set 1 should be light effort. Each round you get a little bit faster. The final set should be a hard, intense effort, something that's, unsustainable. Maybe something you would do if you had like 2 to 3 rounds for time, as fast as possible. So we're going to be doing some different types of pressing, trying to get inverted with the gymnastics and wall walks and keeping them in week to week, and blending them with other movements that you might see them paired with, in the open or in a quarterfinal setting. Next, we are doing some bench press and core superset work. So again, still working on strength, using a little bit higher reps to try and push it out more towards strength endurance. And this will just kind of depend on where you are. If you're really, 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 really strong, then 8 reps is going to be kind of tough. It might help you with your strength endurance. And if you're a little weaker, 8 reps is probably great just to keep improving absolute strength as well. Then we are going to basically finish up with some more pressing work, single arm pressing with some type of glute or hamstring focused hypertrophy work. All right. So as you can see here, normally you would probably see something like this at the end of the session, the conditioning piece. But again, we're building more towards the open and more towards quarterfinals. So we're going to start seeing basically a flip in a lot of what we do for conditioning, because that's going to be a bigger focus. So this is kind of the bigger focus of the session, whereas this is not a priority. It's just we need to start focusing more on, building capacity and things like this, and still being able to be strong and work on things like strength, hypertrophy, strength, endurance, capacity, and pressing after we have already been fatigued. So this is a great way to do that. All right, Thursdays are a light, easy training day. You can take that day off, or it's just nice, easy effort. Another little typo. Nice, easy effort and relaxed monostructural work. All right. The Friday, very similar to Monday, but we have legless rope climb and rope climb work. You can adjust that as needed. Again, we're doing an EMOM. We've been doing a lot of skill and strength development in the legless rope climb and in rope climbs. And now we're introducing more fatigue slowly but surely. This next 4 weeks, it might not be that hard. It'll be challenging. You'll be sweating to the beginning of the session. And then slowly but surely, they'll get more intense, harder, and faster. All right? Very similar to the snatch work. Every 20 seconds, you're going to do squat, clean, and jerk, starting at 60% and improving the load if the last set was perfect. Then we're going to do some more strength endurance work with the reverse lunge, with the lunging pattern or the single leg pattern. Only 2 sets because they're both going to be pretty tough, and it's going to be 20 total reps per leg. And then another task-based EMOM. So here we're doing minute 1, 3 shuttle runs. Minute 2 will be 1 bar muscle up, and then max wall balls in remaining time until you've completed 75 wall balls. All right. And then we have 4 to 5 sets here of the desaturation sets again, but on the rower. All right. Don't need to go over that again. And then we have the handstand skill work to start. All right, so on Saturday, we're going to have some type of handstand skill work, but it will be for time with quality, okay? So just the words there, for time with quality. It's not for time. We want to finish as fast as possible, but we still want to make it look good and make sure we're still improving at the skill of the handstand walk, okay? So, and crossovers. So you don't want to push as fast as you can, and then you're just sitting there looking at the clock, and then you're failing. You want to basically finish this as quickly as possible while making that last set still look strong, so that as we increase difficulty or increase volume with a handstand walk, you'll still be able to perform well. All right. Then we are going to have some vertical pressing strength work, higher end. This will be varied week to week, so it won't be the same. It'll always be a vertical press, but it won't be always the seated dumbbell press, and we'll work up to a tough set. So we can minimize total volume, but still be working and increasing total strength. And then we're going to be going into building the strict deficit handstand push-up. So we'll be accumulating volume here. You'll be able to pick a tough deficit for you week to week. And again, we're just going to slowly increase the volume as we go. If you're super weak here, we'll give you options, because we still want to make sure we're working on deficit. But again, the goal here is week to week just to improve total volume. And then we are going to finish with a tougher set of some type of deadlift and burpee combo, some type of bending and burpee combo. We're still going to, it's still training, so you're still doing a repeatable effort. So it's going to be 2 sets. Or, this day it's going to be 2 sets. You're going to start with a 30 cal ski into 3 rounds of some deadlifts and burpees. Rest 5 minutes and repeat. So you're going to go as hard as you can with still trying to have a repeatable effort. Okay? And week to week, it's going to look different. It won't be, a lot of these things will have pretty structured progressions, and some things won't be as structured, but you'll see that there will be a progression. There won't be the same movements all the time. It won't be the same time frame week to week, but there will still be total progression in the sense that we're going to be getting more intense week to week and, split to split as we round out to December. So that's it. This is week 1. If you're not on the program and you're listening on YouTube, we'd love to have you. And you can get a I believe, a 2-week free trial if you sign up. If you have any questions, you can ask anyone in the program that's watching. If you have any questions about any of this, obviously you can send me a message. But yeah, this is, again, the transition cycle. We're getting prepared. If you want to perform the best in quarterfinals, then this is a really good approach and a really great program to do that. If you don't have a coach, if you're not working with someone one-on-one, and because it does require structure. If you want to, perform your best, then there's a lot of things you need to work on. It's a lot to balance, and you have to perform well in the open while still being able to train and, still being able to progress, because quarterfinals is shortly after that. And that's obviously the overarching goal, is to perform the best in quarterfinals. So thanks again for watching. If you need anything, you can send me a message, comment if you have any questions about the training cycle. Thanks.